I want you to take everything that I'm about to tell you with the biggest grain of salt that you could ever take with somebody's words, because nothing that I'm about to tell you is officially confirmed, but obviously there's lots of strong evidence to support everything that I'm about to tell you. So earlier today, some new leaks for possible new starter Pokemon for Generation 8 were leaked on 4chan. They were posted and then deleted and then posted and deleted, posted and deleted, and they were picked up by someone at, I think, PokeJungle, and then spread about on the Twitterverse and probably now on 4chan and a whole bunch of other websites, and a lot of people have been covering these new starters, and they look eerily similar to the last set of starter leaks that we got. I think it was last month. There was a bear and a horse and a piece of coral. You know, a lot of people were on the fence of whether or not they were real or they were fake, because the way they were presented was very professional. There were people in the Pokemon designing community that knew that the way that the Pokemon were presented was very signature to the way that the actual designers of Pokemon put up final designs of starters and new Pokemon and things like that. And so a lot of people thought that they would be real, but they ended up being fake. So with these new leaks being really, really similar, it's kind of hard to tell whether or not they are real or they are fake. But there was one glaring problem with the last set of starters that they were going to end up being fake, and that's because not all of the Pokemon fit a certain theme. So everybody knows the idea that the fire starters are supposed to be based on the Chinese zodiac and different zodiacs, or whatever you want to call them, in the Chinese zodiac. You know, there's Charizard being the dragon, and Cyndaquil being the mouse, and so on and so on. Everybody knows that connection. But a lot of people actually don't know that the grass starters and the water starters all have their own themes that they've also followed throughout the entire franchise. So with the grass type, all of the starters are based on evolution. So Bulbasaur was the first amphibians to ever walk out of the ocean and start growing legs and stuff, and you start moving onward and onward to dinosaurs like long-necked dinosaurs and raptors, and then you get to turtles and snakes, and then you start getting into mammals with Chespin and early avians with Decidueye, and now we are here at possible lemurs, which obviously, if you've ever read anything about dinosaurs and evolution and stuff, that you know that that's a pretty likely choice for them to make if they were following the trend of evolution. Then, of course, we've got the fire bunny, which would fit right into the Chinese zodiac. That one's really simple to explain. And finally, with the water starters, they're actually just based on creatures that live in both water and on land. So you have the turtle with Squirtle, you have the crocodile with Totodile, the mud skipper. It's actually not supposed to be an axolotl. Apparently it's supposed to be a mud skipper, and it's just got the things like an axolotl. You have the penguin, you've got the otter, you've got the frog, you've got the sea lion, and so on. And so the platypus here, with the platypus starter that they leaked, actually fits in with that theme too. And this is one of the first starter leaks where all of the Pokemon presented actually do fit the theme that's been going on, which is why, though obviously not 100% confirmed, these could be real. I will only say could, because I'm taking everything that I've learned about all this with a grain of salt. But the fact that they all fit the themes for their respective types and that they are presented very professionally gives pretty good credence that they could be real. There's a strong chance that they could be real, but there's also a good chance that they could be fake. There was a tweet posted replying to, I think, PokeJungle by, I honestly could not remember who, talking about how on each of the starters' little pages that they have, the word front is actually written differently every single time, which obviously if these were all designed by the same person or even by the same team, obviously they're all speaking the same language down to the way that words are written. I know that some words are written differently within Japanese depending on, I don't know, I'm not good with language, but I know that there's different ways to write stuff. But obviously if they were all being worked on by the same team, then they would be written the same. But so far that's just about the only credible evidence towards these not being real. a lot of people just say, you know, oh, they don't look like real Pokemon. They couldn't be real because they don't look like real Pokemon. They don't look like the classic style. And to that I say, you know, the same thing was said about the final evolutions for the Alola starters, where they were leaked. A lot of people said, you know, these can't be real, they have to be fake, it doesn't look right, you know, this is very simple sketching that they did, and it could not be real. But nobody could confirm that it's fake, and then they ended up being real. So just because they don't look like the classic Pokemon style does not mean that they are 100% fake. But obviously there's no proof that they're 100% real either. Only time will tell. Really quickly, I just want to talk about the different designs and what I think of them and what I think is interesting, what I think doesn't work. We'll start with the grass one, which is the Lemur. Personally, I like the idea that it carries berries at the end of its tail. I think that's really cool. As for the way the head is designed, though, I don't really know how I feel about that. It kind of looks like it's just got really long hair. I don't know what they were thinking with that. But I guess obviously they've got to add something to it to make it look more Pokemon-y and less like just a lemur. So those are my only real thoughts on it. This is like I would probably venture to say this is my least favorite of the three, but that doesn't mean that I don't I hate it or anything. I personally think it's really cool, just, you know, a little odd in design. Now onto the Fire Bunny. This might actually be my favorite just because it's really, really cute. I really like that they have shown the different emotions for the Pokemon and the way that its ears emote with it and stuff like that, and the whiskers. I actually just noticed that the whiskers actually emote with it too, which is really cool. I think that this design does a really good job of adding more to just a rabbit to make it really feel like a Pokemon. The tail actually looks like a puff of smoke. There's a good contrast between the smoke with the fluff on its neck and the tail, and then the light design of its body and the red adding color and stuff. It looks really, really cool. And with most Pokemon, I don't like this, but the eyes actually work on it. I don't normally like the blank eyes with just the little shimmer on them. I normally like, you know, eyes that don't look like all, you know what I'm trying to say. But for this design, I actually think it really works really well. Apparently its fur is ignitable, which I think is interesting. I don't know if they're going to go for the idea that this bunny can just straight up light itself on fire, which would be pretty cool, because that immediately makes me think of that episode of Foster's Home where they have the go-kart thingy or whatever it is that they're building, and they can't decide if they want flames or bunnies, so they put flaming bunnies. I think it's really cool. And finally, onto the last one is the Platypus. This is one of them where it definitely does not look like the traditional Pokemon style. The eyes are really what really sets it off. I'm covering it up, and yeah, it is definitely the eyes that throw this whole thing off for me. But obviously, again, just because it doesn't look like the classic Pokemon style doesn't mean that they're fake or they're bad or anything. I personally think it's really cute. The back is actually really similar to Pikachu, now that I look at it. If you look at the picture where he is sitting facing away from us, just take out the head and the tail, and it kind of just looks like a blue Pikachu with, I mean, it's even got the same body shape and the two stripes on the back. It's really, really similar to Pikachu now that I'm thinking about that. But apparently it's got poison spurs on the back of its front legs, which is super accurate to platypuses? Platypi? I'm pretty sure platypuses is still grammatically correct. Platypi, whatever. They have poison barbs is what I'm getting at here. So possible water poison type if it's real, that could be neat. I'm gonna make a video that's more in depth about the different themes for all the starters. Like each of the types have their own theme, but then each generation has its own theme. It's like a big chart of themes, and I'll go more in depth with all of those in a different video. But I just wanted to kind of talk about these leaks and why they could be real. So there you go. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know which one's your favorite in the comments for sure, because I like these designs, so I want to know what your guys' favorites are. And again, do you think they're real? Do you think they're fake? What evidence is there that they could be fake? What evidence is there could be real? Stuff that I've missed. Let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.